Welcome to the Gold Coast, the Sunshine State of Australia. You're at Carrara for the world title elimination bout between two great champions of the squared circle. In the red corner, ladies and gentlemen, weighing in at 79.38 kilos, from Buenos Aires, Argentina, South America, the former WBA World Middleweight, WA Federation, Southern Light Heavyweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen, Jorge Castro!
Well, facially he looks a lot like Diego Maradona. There's Jorge Castro, and he's almost as big as Sara in his native Argentina. He's a very popular guy, great fighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, the winds are howling, the rains are pounding. The Hurricane is here. He weighs in, ladies and gentlemen, at 79.35 kilos. His home is the Gold Coast. He's trained by Rod Waterhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, previously Australian light heavyweight, from the presently IBF Pan American Cruiserweight title. Ladies and gentlemen, going again for the world title elimination, Paul Hurricane Briggs! Your referee from this contest, the AMF President Brad McCarthy. Your judges, Anika Williams, Adrian Cairns, and Chris Daly. Your interpreter, Yolanda McTavish, your doctor at ringside is Dr. Finlayson. This is WB Sansand. Ladies and gentlemen, fighters to ringside, please. Your fourth man in the ring, Brad McCarthy. All right, good luck. Gentlemen, touch gloves, wait for the bell. Good luck to you both. 10 rounds. This is the punch of the Hurricane! Let's bring it on!
Well guys, the moment of truth has arrived. Here we are, Carrara Stadium, Gold Coast, Queensland. Looks very composed in the corner there, Jorge Castro. Paul Briggs has got to take up that composure straight away. Well, he doesn't look composed, he looks very, very relaxed. He's just all body is Jorge Castro. Very skinny legs. He's only a short guy, but he's big bull shoulders and bull neck, big barrel chest. Very strong guy and can punch, and he knows the ropes. 134 fights.
If he knows, he is actually looking at Paul Briggs' shoes. Now he's come up, looking in Paul Briggs' eyes. Wants to know where those punches are coming from.
Very cagey guy, Jorge Castro. Briggs has got to be careful early because Castro will try and bring him onto a very hard counter.
That's what he's got to do. He's got to take his time, not rush anything. Castro very awkward, very, very cagey. Straight punches, Paul. That's what he needs to do. If he starts coming in with hooks, he's going to miss wildly.
Set him going straight away.
Yeah, exactly, Brownlee. Set everything up with that jab. The rest will follow. You'd expect this to be a fairly quiet opening round until somebody lands the first decent shot, and then I'm sure we'll see some fireworks.
Both guys understandably cautious. Both are terrific punchers. Both very careful not to make a mistake here in the opening round. Castro sneaking through with a looping right hand.
What you call a real feeling out round here. Paul Briggs keeping it nice and tight. Just trying to work out Castro just to see what he's got. Bit of respect there, as there should be. It's a tremendous record, Castro, and bringing all that experience into the ring.
Yeah, Paul cannot see, he cannot take his mind off this job for 1 second. Because the 1 second that takes his job off, his mind off the job, it'll be curtains.
You've got to congratulate Paul Briggs for taking such a hard fight. He didn't have to fight Jorge Castro. He could have just hung around and beaten some easy fighters and waited for a world title to present itself. But here he is taking on the very, very best he can find. Jorge Castro, former world middleweight champ. Magnificent record. Only losses in the last 13 years have been to world champions.
And not just ordinary world champions, he's beat some great world champions. He's sort of been beaten by some great world champions.
look at the names: Roberto Duran, Vasily Yurov, Roy Jones Jr. He's giving all of them a great fight. Castro trying to open up here with those short snapping punches in close. This is where Briggs has got to be careful.
Yes. But beautiful stiff jab from Paul Briggs. That's what he needs to do, really. Punish his man with that jab.
Well, a feeling out round, but certainly Paul Briggs would have gained confidence from that round. He showed that he can hit Castro with the jab.
Yeah, you'd probably have to give that round fairly even. I can see that call up and you've gone 10-9 from Jorge Castro.
Now, it was a very close round, drawing grounding, very close, but I just think Castro may have just nicked it. Paul Briggs just looked a little bit tense there. Castro's more relaxed as we look at Castro here in the corner. Look at this replay.
Not a lot of clean scoring shots in that exchange.
Briggs certainly not intimidated by this guy. He's come here to win. He's come here to get the world light heavyweight title, which he's been promised if he can beat Jorge Castro here this afternoon.
And, in my mind, if this fight is a hard fight, then Paul Briggs will have to fight them the world title.
Yeah, I said that, yeah. He'll certainly never meet anyone with the experience or the clever boxing skills and all those little tricks that Jorge Castro has.
He's got all the guile, all the experience, all the know-how. And if Paul does hurt his man, he can't rush him very silly. He's got to take his time, pick his shots. That's a beautiful snappy jab from Paul Briggs. That's where he needs to be. Keep pumping out that jab.
Very awkward style, Jorge Castro, but very effective. Look at his phenomenal record, 123 victories.
Yeah, very, very awkward. You never know where a punch is coming from. That's what makes the guy so good. And when he hits you to him, he usually stays hit. And that's what Paul Briggs does not want. Sure, let's grab the attention of Jorge Castro.
He doesn't want to get overconfident here, though. Be careful with it. Castro just giving referee Brett DeCarly a little bit of advice on the rules.
You're saying, come on, watch the elbows.
Paul Briggs is looking a lot looser in this round. He's landing some good combinations.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get overconfident, though. That's it. Keep working the jabs, stay on the back move. Well, make Castro walk onto his shots.
He told me yesterday, Paul Briggs, that even if he rocks Castro, he's not going to jump in recklessly. He's going to just take his time and try and pick him apart with the left hand.
That's what he's got to do. He must not get overconfident with his good work.
Another good right hand. Paul Briggs dominating this second round with the right hand.
Yeah, Castro doesn't blink, though. Paul just got to be very, very careful that he doesn't get overconfident with his good work. This could be a ploy from Castro.
You never know when he's trying to fight a play possum.
And let me tell you, Castro, from his record, by the looks of it, he's a very savage possum, I tell you. Because when he lets him go, he can deliver some enormous power, some great punching power. Keep coming forward, digging that left rib to the body, Castro. He's being very smart, staying on the back foot. Keep pumping out that jab. Oh, there's a savage right hand, just missing the chin of Paul Briggs.
He's always dangerous, this guy, Castro, because you never know where the next punch is coming from. He's throwing from all sorts of crazy angles.
He's firing down the body. He's getting Paul's attention downstairs, and then he's coming over the top with that beautiful right hand. I'm sure that Paul's awake to it, though.
Well, that's the end of the second round. A better round for Paul Briggs. He got through with a couple of good right hands. Pull up him.
Yeah, definitely a lot better round there for Paul Briggs. I thought he was a lot loose and landed some good combinations there, but as you said, Jorge Castro is very dangerous. He really puts his whole body weight when he's throwing his right hand.
Briggs getting some attention there from his trainer Rod Waterhouse. Rod's done a tremendous job to get him into this world title eliminator. If we have a little look at the match from that second round, there's Castro staying outside Briggs, landing a cracker of a right hand over the top.
Yeah, beautiful lead right hand. Saw the opening and took it.
There's another little body shot there from Paul Briggs. That had to hurt Castro as well. And there's another lead right hand and pushes him away. Some good work there by Paul Briggs. He's got his confidence up, but as you say, Tree, he doesn't want to get overconfident.
No, Paul's got to be on his game. 3 minutes of every round. Cannot let his guard down, not for 1 second.
Round 3.
Castro hasn't got the muscularity of Paul Briggs, but he's actually come down 10 kilos from, or 7 kilos from the weight that he fought his last world title at, which was cruiserweight 86 kilos. He's fighting this fight at 79, so he's in very, very good shape.
Yeah, he's obviously worked very, very hard for this fight. It's just the skill the guy has got, the actual experience. He's been in there with everybody.
He's like a Roberto Duran, isn't he? He's like a magician. He can sort of do everything. He can punch, he can box, he can make a guy miss.
Beautiful right hand.
He could make Paul Briggs miss on that occasion. Briggs is shaking him up.
Yeah, Castro. See, this is the thing with this guy. He's got plenty of experience. Even if he's hurt, Paul Briggs won't know it.
Yeah. Another good right hand there from Paul Briggs. He's doing a good job in this round, Paul Briggs.
Yeah, Paul Briggs starting to take control of this round.
Have to remember Jorge Castro not watching any tapes of Paul Briggs, possibly taking him a little bit lightly, and he has got a very awkward style though.
He may take Castro 3 or 3 rounds.
Oh, another good right hand.
I think that punch may have shook Castro.
And another one.
Beautiful right hand.
Good work by Paul Briggs here in the third round. Midway through the third round, he's looking very, very sharp.
Yeah, Castro nodding. Good punch to Paul Briggs.
He's got to be careful though, this boy.
Castro now knows he's in a fight, though, for sure. He's been caught with some of Briggs' nice right hands.
I think Paul Briggs got the hand speed advantage in this fight. Castro just winging his punches just a little bit slower. Paul Briggs landed some good right hands in this round.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before Paul Briggs starts to really catch up with his man. Just must stand the back, must not trying to come forward and take this fight out early. Paul Briggs fighting a brilliant fight at the moment. Perfect strategy.
The jab's a very powerful weapon for him with the right hand to follow. It's been a very good weapon for him this fight so far.
Yeah, very, very strong punches, Paul Briggs. He's both left and right hand.
Also trying to draw him onto a counter now. The Briggs punching very fine. Hard to counter when they're coming that quick.
Yeah, Castro look there, just that caginess, waiting for an opportunity.
Oh, another right hand.
Beautiful right hand from Briggs.
Good shots. That right hand's been a real weapon.
Castro took it well, keeps marching forward, but again, he won't wear those all night.
They've got to take their toll as we come to the end of round 3.
Paul Briggs, fantastic round from Paul Briggs.
You've got to have Paul up and you've got to have Paul Briggs in front at this stage after that third round. That was a pretty commanding performance.
That was his best round of the fight so far. That was very, very good right hands there from Paul Briggs. And I think he hurt Jorge Castro a little bit. He didn't show it. As we said, you know, he's a lot of experience, but looking in the corner there at Paul Briggs, he has to be very happy with those last 2 rounds.
Well, if he gets over Jorge Castro here this afternoon, he's going to be fighting for the world light heavyweight title, and he'll make a pretty good champion on this performance in this round. Some very good right hands.
Yeah, nailing Castro, the beautiful
Here
right
comes
hand.
another one. Bang,
Yeah,
right hand
making
down.
Castro miss, making him pay.
That's the beauty there.
Well, there's Paul Briggs still using those feet. He was in punching range, stepped out of it, made Castro miss, came straight back. Fantastic work, brilliant work on Paul Briggs.
Has to be a little bit of concern in the corner of Jorge Castro now. After 3 rounds, he's certainly not getting the fight his own way. He absorbed a lot more right hands in that round than he probably thought he was going to absorb in the whole fight.
Yeah, he probably thinks that his opportunity will come this Castro.
And just to remind you, the last 13 years, the only men who have beaten Jorge Castro have all been world champions. The ilk of Roberto Duran, Roy Jones Jr., Vasily Yurov, Juan Carlos Gomez. So if Briggs can get over him today, he'll be the only non-world champion at this stage to have beaten this guy in 13 years.
Let me tell you, if he does get over this guy, I would say Paul Briggs will one day become a world champion because he's certainly got the skills, he has the power. He just needs to stay focused and...
on the canvas there from Paul Briggs. Castro's just not throwing enough punches to mine. I don't know whether he's trying to catch Paul Briggs out. He's using that really hooking wild right hand. Scoring back. Good work for Paul Briggs. He's certainly not intimidated Paul Briggs.
Paul Briggs took a really good shot and he fired back 2 or 3 of his own good shots. Paul took the punch well. Another beautiful straight right hand.
Paul's just got to keep his technique nice and tight here. Bring that hand back to his chin.
Yeah, Paul Briggs fighting an excellent fight. Great.
Castro's only loss inside the distance in 16 years was to a guy twice his size in the fight for the World Cruiserweight title at 86 kilos. So he's certainly got the toughness. He's absorbed plenty of right hands from Paul Briggs, but we wonder just how many big right hands he can absorb. Oh, tremendous right hand there from Castro.
Yeah, Paul needs to get out the ropes.
He must not get caught like that, Paul Briggs.
Paul said, come on. When he got hit, he said, come on, bring it on. It's all good having confidence in your own, showing the men that you weren't hurt, but he shouldn't have been there to get caught with that shot in the first place. There's too many of those punches will take its toll.
He doesn't want to go to sleep in there against Castro because he might go to sleep if Castro lands another of those big, huge right hands flush on the chin. Castro's been a vicious puncher over his career, 85 knockouts, and you can see why he really throws those winging right hands. And he's put all his body weight behind it too.
That's a lazy, methodical style of Castro. Just does what he has to do.
Good right hand from Paul Briggs there. Fred's really getting behind him in this fight. Another good right hand.
Shot for Paul Briggs! Right hand! Oh, Castro's in trouble!
Yeah. Paul Briggs has Castro in trouble. Yeah, most definitely they certainly hurt Castro.
Castro is very cagey, very dangerous.
Very cagey groundler. He walked back to the ropes, hoping that Paul Briggs would jump on him. Paul Briggs didn't jump on him, and he won the ring.
Little pat of admiration there for Jorge Castro because he absorbed some tremendous right hands from Paul Briggs there. I thought he was going to go, but the Argentine stayed on his feet. What a great performance so far by Paul Briggs.
Paul, the Hurricane Briggs, he is fighting like a hurricane at the moment, let me tell you. He got caught with some beautiful shots, but he has landed some pearlers.
Look at that combination, left and right hand. Bang, back with another right hand. This is where I thought Castro was going to go. His head turned right round completely, but he got to the ropes and he just, survival instincts, 134 fights, he just knew how to just keep the angles and stay away from the power shots of Paul Briggs there.
Let me tell you, Castro was in trouble. His experience got him out of trouble, but he was hurt.
It was a great round for Paul Briggs, and Castro would definitely hurt. You have to easily win that round, Paul Briggs, and he's on a real roll now.
Yeah,
Briggs there in the corner, he knows he's in for a hard time tonight.
Yeah, Briggs certainly doesn't want to get overconfident with his good work. I'm sure he won't.
Just want to see Paul Briggs keep that nice tight technique, keep those gloves up. Because Castro is a vicious puncher, we said, and he's throwing those winging right hands.
Yeah, stay with the speed, keep that jab working, stay focused. Keep snapping that jab out, Paul.
Oh, good leader right hand there by Paul Briggs.
He doesn't want to do that too much.
He doesn't want to get careless though.
Most definitely, because he off balance, could get caught with the left hook from Castro. Castro once again looking at the boots of Paul Briggs.
I love this in Paul Briggs. He's taking his time here. He's not rushing in. He's trying to measure his shots and pick Castro up.
He's being very clever with his caution. He's picking his punches, not rushing in. He knows Castro can punch. He's absorbed a couple of right hands from Castro already, and he just knows the way to beat this guy. To set the pace behind the jab and pick him off.
That's what he's got to do. He must stay behind that
Stop!
jab.
No, too low. Too low.
Low blow there from Castro, perhaps Carly giving a little warning. Just an
Don't put your
accident.
head down too low, all right? Box. Castro wiping at that left eye. Very, very red. Very marked.
Oh, good little left hook there from Paul Briggs. That got Castro's attention. He's such an awkward guy, Castro. Not much of a jab, hardly a jab, just those winging shots coming from different angles.
I think he's got a problem.
Oh, right hand from Paul Briggs.
Yeah, Castro could be in a little bit of
Another
trouble.
right hand from Paul Briggs. Castro, he's not at all happy with this. These shots that are coming his way. Another big right hand from Paul Briggs. He looks in trouble, Castro.
He's got a problem with that left eye. Keeps pouring it there with his glove.
Yeah, I'm sure a testament to the right hands that have been slammed into that left eye. Well, before this fight, Jorge Castro said that Terry Norris was the hardest puncher that he's fought. What will he say after the fight?
I guess he's going to say Paul Briggs, the way this fight is going so far. And of course, Terry Norris showed a little bit of a history there too, Troy Waters. One of the great fights of all time against Terry Norris, the World Junior Middleweight title.
Yeah, most definitely. 1993. Oh, there goes Castro, working away to the body. Oh, big right hand, just missing the chin of Paul Briggs.
Castro realising now he's got to try and get back into this fight. Paul Briggs on a bit of a roll here. There's some vicious right hands.
I think some of that hair dye is getting in his eyes. I don't think that's part of his problem. He's just wiping some of it off on Brad Bacali's shirt there. So that's his problem for putting it in there in the first place. Looking a little bit ragged, Castro, at this stage.
Well, Castro knows he's in trouble.
Another good round for Paul Briggs, Paul Upham.
Yeah, I got Paul Briggs ahead 4 rounds to 1. It's just been a dominating performance. Paul Briggs is getting better in every round the way he's going on, Troy, and I think he really hurt Jorge Castro in that last round.
Look, if the rhythm of this fight way it is at the moment, I do believe that Paul Briggs could stop Castro later on in the fight. But he just must not take any chances.
Oh, here we go, that nice little left hook by Paul Briggs. That got Castro's attention. You can see him pouring at that eye. I think the dye is getting down in his eye from his multicoloured hair. But there's the beautiful right hand. Let's go to the corner of Paul Briggs, see what they've got to say. They're pretty happy with things at this stage. Briggs is dominating, looks very, very relaxed over there.
Started off slowly, but the hurricane's really building up now.
Rod Waterhouse telling him in the corner just to box, and that's what Paul Briggs has got to do. And he can make this fight really a walk in the park. He's just got to keep pumping that jab, keep Castro off him, and just dominate from long range.
Yeah, what he's got to do, he's got to do what he's done for the first 5 rounds. Good work.
Good jabs by Paul Briggs there.
Yeah, just stepped out of the way, made Castro miss with that lunging left hook, double jab.
Good combination for Paul Briggs. Castro's just being a bit sloppy, just a bit slow in his punch. He's giving Paul Briggs plenty off here. Another good right hand from Paul Briggs.
At this stage, Jorge Castro is taking the pounding, but Paul Briggs ever cautious. He knows what the guy's got to offer.
Yeah, well, Castro's cut.
Right hand.
Castro's cut now under that left eye.
Well, that's the legacy of the brutal right hands he's been taking from Paul Briggs. And another right hand. Great work here by Paul Briggs.
Well, let me tell you, if there weren't believers of Paul Briggs, there's certainly going to be believers now.
He's really catching the world's attention with this performance. He's dominating Jorge Castro in a way that Castro has not been dominated in a long, long time.
And let me tell you, if he can stop Castro, this will go a long way to boosting the stocks of Paul Briggs, let me tell you.
Castro's still pouring at that left eye. He's got problems there. And Paul Briggs is really taking advantage of those right hands and good combinations.
Paul Briggs has got to be careful. He doesn't want to get caught with anything silly. This guy's just waiting for one shot. That's all it's going to take.
He looks in trouble at different stages, Jorge Castro, but he manages to regain his composure and always present himself as a dangerous adversary. Oh, good right hand there by Castro over the top, but Briggs once again on the attack.
Briggs fighting a great fight. Staying busy.
Oh, good right hand again.
Yeah, chopping right out. Comes out of the break and snaps a right hand over the top.
Paul Briggs is just waiting for that one shot to drop the big right on the button. You can see he's trying to line it up, but Castro's very wary.
Yeah, Paul Briggs fighting a masterful fight at the moment. He's mixing it up. He's not just coming forward. He's backing up, giving him lateral movement side to side. Castro waving him in. Yeah, let me tell you, all this waiting about and all this stuff now from Castro is just buying him time. Here we go, Paul Briggs has got him cornered, but he's ever cautious. He knows the guy's a tremendous slugger and he's not going to stand there with him. Yeah, Paul's fighting a good fight. Not getting carried away with his success. Counting down the last 10 seconds of round 6. Another great round for the Hurricane, Paul Briggs. The 6 rounds gone. Paul Briggs dominating this fight. I'm sure this has been a big surprise for Jorge Castro. He thought he'd be presented with opportunities to counter. In the corner, Paul Briggs looking confident, not so confident. Jorge Castro, he's copped a pounding. Oh, he's taking a beating at the moment, is Castro, but he's always dangerous. You cannot relax, not for 1 minute.
Have you got the scorecard so far, Paul? After 6 rounds, we've got Paul Briggs ahead, 59-55. But as we just said, you know, Jorge Castro is still a dangerous puncher. He's going to try and hit with that winging right hand. I can see that's really his only chance. You look at Castro's face now. We watch that replay here. Paul Briggs, he's really opening up. Some great combinations, some brutal right hands in.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of sting off those punches, he's Castro. He's turning his head at the right time.
Very interesting. Paul Briggs had him cornered and Castro looked defenceless, and then Paul Briggs pulled back because he wasn't going to fall into any Castro's tricks. He knows he can win this fight in a commanding performance over 10 rounds, and that's what he's going to try and do.
He does not have to knock Castro out.
I think a lesser man would have been on the canvas with some of those shots for Paul Briggs. Got to hand it to Jorge Castro, great chin.
Oh, tremendous chin and tremendous buffer zone in that big Billy Nicholson.
Heard him again there, Grantley. Beautiful combination to start off with that right hand.
And to tell you, Castro might have a great chin, but he's going home with a headache, that's for sure.
Rod Waterhouse, you've got to take your hat off to him. He's done a great job preparing Briggs for this. This has been an excellent boxing performance so far. We know the fight's not over yet. It's in the 7th round now, but Briggs has boxed very, very well. Very controlled and very clever and cautious plan.
Castro is now starting to get a little bit frustrated. Can't catch Briggs with the punches that he wants to catch him with.
Good shot by Briggs again on the right hand. A hook.
Yeah, Castro must be wary though. Must be very, very wary.
Break. A good controlled fight from Paul Briggs. Still staying nice and tight. He's not rushing in. Just picking his shots here, and he's landing some good ones.
Yeah, Paul must continue to do what he has done for the last 6 rounds.
Such an unusual style, Castro. He looks almost bow-legged at times, but he's proven over 16 years that he's one of the world's very best, and this has been a tremendous performance to dominate him in such a way by Paul Briggs.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that are very awkward to fight. You never know where the punches are coming from. That's what makes him such a good fighter, very awkward.
Some people I know before this fight were predicting that Castro might be another Jose Torres, who we remember back in the late 60s absolutely derailed Australia's boomline heavyweight at that time, Bobby Dunlop. But so far, Castro hasn't been able to do the job on Paul Briggs. He hasn't been able to mount any sort of sustained offence at all because Briggs has really been pumping that jab and that right hand behind it and managed to control the exchange.
We must remember it doesn't matter who wins the first 9 rounds. If Castro comes out in that clinch and nails Briggs with a good shot and knocks him out, the first 9 rounds don't matter. Briggs has to be on his toes, has to be careful for the full 10 rounds.
Well, in the corner, Rod Waterhouse is telling him between rounds just to keep boxing, and that's very sensible.
Do what he's been doing.
Castro to win this fight, he's going to have to increase his punch output. I'm not sure he's got it in him. I think he's a little bit out of condition here.
Yeah, well, look, he can't beat Paul Briggs on points. He just can't.
I think it's more a case that he's used to knocking guys out with those winging shots, and he thought he was going to do it to Paul Briggs. And so far, Briggs hasn't allowed him to get too many clean shots at him because of that good leg movement and very, very fast hands.
Yeah, Paul Briggs took it a nice right hand, took it well.
Closing down final seconds of round number 7, another good round for Paul Briggs. Only three more rounds to go after this one, and he's on his way to the world light heavyweight title.
Yeah, 9 minutes of action, and we could see Paul Briggs fighting for the world title.
Back in the corner there, Jorge Castro is He knows he's got the job in front of him. He's only got 9 minutes to pull something out of the fire, and the way Paul Briggs is boxing, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, Paul Briggs very, very fired up. They put the stool in, and he kicked it out. He said, I don't want the stool.
Castro is worried by that cut over the left eye from Paul Briggs' right hand.
It's been a very good performance from Paul Briggs. Been a long way ahead as we hear watching the replay.
Those right hand, it's been like a radar all night, just bang on target.
He's making Castro cover up, and he's just following up with further combinations. And very hard to get Castro the way Paul Briggs is punching. He's doing so many good combinations.
Yeah, the pre-fight hype. Paul Briggs said he's fought Roy Jones Jr., he's fought the Reggie Johnsons, he's fought the Juan Carlos Gomez's, but he hasn't fought Paul Briggs yet.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Good advice again from Rob Warehouse, and to keep the hands up as soon as he finishes an exchange, and that's really the only danger at this stage for Paul Briggs, if he starts throwing and drops his hands.
Beautiful combination.
Very precise with the shots.
Yeah, he's sharp shooting at the moment. Potting, doing what he wants, is Briggs. But do not get overconfident.
Well, I was in Jeff Harding's corner when he climbed to the great heights of the world light heavyweight title, and I think we're seeing a future world champion here in Paul Briggs, because he's just boxed superbly against a very, very good fighter here from Argentina, Jorge Castro, and he's hardly put wrong so far, Paul Briggs.
Once again, Brantley will have to make the point. I don't think it's not what Jorge Castro's not doing. I think it's what Paul Briggs not allowing him to do.
Put your head down. Come on, box. Yeah, now Castro's starting to complain about getting hit on the back of the head. That, for my money, is a fighter in trouble.
Yeah. He's looked a little ragged for the last couple of rounds, and Paul Briggs has just kept sticking between there. Another good left hook by Paul Briggs. Castro really has no chance to counter because the punches are just coming so fast.
Yeah, he has no answer to Briggs' speed and power. And the combination punching that he's doing. See what Briggs is doing? He's not throwing ones and twos where Castro can avoid them. He's throwing fives and sixes where he can avoid the first two or three, but the next three are catching him.
That's right. That's a testament to his fitness and the 11 weeks of hard training he's put in.
Castro possibly just trying to sack Paul Briggs in here, trying to get him open up and hit him with a big counter hook. Castro really not punching at all here.
You know, just waiting for the opportunity. He knows he can't win this fight on points.
Come on, watch the kiddies, just be careful. Nice little how do you do from Paul Briggs.
Yeah, let me tell you, that would have hurt.
Again, Castro is still doing this. Still throwing those winning shots at Briggs. Just has his measure at this stage.
Yeah, look, he's going to be dangerous until the final bell rings, because it only beautiful right uppercut from Castro. He took it well.
Break. Watch your head now. Come on. Okay. Watch your head. Yeah, come on.
Nice ramrod jab to the midsection of Castro from Briggs.
He's used it so effectively throughout this fight. He's just got to keep doing it for another 2 rounds, and away we go to the world title.
Well, it's setting the win up. That jab, that hard jab, combination punching is setting the jab up as we come down to the last 5 seconds of round number 8. Another Paul Briggs round.
Just about all of them have been Paul Briggs rounds so far. Castro's still dangerous, but Briggs is very confident as he goes back to the corner. Castro has 2 rounds to do something dramatic. It doesn't look like it's going to happen at this stage of the way Paul Briggs is fighting.
Paul Briggs once again standing in the corner, not wanting to stall. He's thinking to himself, when Castro's standing, I'm standing. Give the guy no edge.
A terrific little right hand there from Paul Briggs. Castro came back with some winging shots and a big looping right hand over the top, and left hook over the top, but that was the equaliser. That was the payback, the big kidney shot, and if Jorge Castro didn't know it was a fight until that stage, he certainly did after that shot to the kidney.
Certainly knows it now, that's for sure.
It's a class performance by Paul Briggs against a very, very good fighter. Could have asked more from Paul Briggs. The fans will be very, very happy as well as his corner so far.
He's done everything right so far in this fight. He's just got to maintain it through rounds 9 and 10 now.
Paul Briggs has just got to stay composed. Mustn't go for the knockout in these last 2 rounds. I'm sure he won't. Come on, work or get out. You can see why this guy's, had so many good victories, because he is very, very awkward.
He's put a lot of unsuspecting fighters on the chin with those looping shots, but Paul Briggs has been studying those videotapes very, very closely for a number of weeks now, and he knows what this guy's capable of, just what his danger signals are, and he's staying out of them.
Well, that's the dedication of Paul Briggs, studying tapes, not just training, studying his opponent, finding out his strengths and his weaknesses. Break. Watch your head, come on. Sorry. Yeah, Paul Briggs making a miss. Just sliding away off the ropes. Paul Briggs, beautiful jab.
I think Paul realises now he's got the fight won. He's just got to stay out of danger for the next 4.5 minutes or so.
Showing some good conditioning here, Paul Briggs. Those people who thought it may be a question mark over his condition over the distance, a big fight. He's showing it today. He's got everything. He's got the punching, he's got the movement, he's got the stamina.
Yeah, well, he's had the good sparring, had the good training. Rod Waterhouse has done a fantastic job of preparing Paul Briggs.
Oh, good right hand by Paul Briggs.
Yeah, lovely counter right hand from that sloppy left hand from Castro.
Castro doesn't budge though. He's still on his game plan.
That's what Paul Briggs doesn't want to get caught with, one of those wild swinging shots. There's plenty of power behind those punches.
He's just an extraordinary reflex fighter. Castro,
You heard him in again, Granny.
he's in trouble, yeah. Oh, yeah, beautiful right hand. But Paul Briggs, he's not throwing caution to the wind. He's just trying to set his man up.
Yeah, he's taking his time. He's fighting a very smart fight. He's not rushing in as he said he wouldn't.
Very controlled performance here by Paul Briggs.
Taking his time, being very, very smart, is Paul.
He's just dominating round after round, getting the points in the bank.
This really has been, up to this point, a super impressive fight for Paul Briggs. Nobody, not even the world champions, have done this, have made Jorge Castro look this ordinary.
Not dominated him in such a way as Paul Briggs has. Oh! Castro is waiting on that one, but Paul Briggs not fazed by that right hand over the top. Another good round by Paul Briggs. 1 round to go, and he knows it too.
This is the request of the Hurricane, ladies and gentlemen, here at Carrara on the Gold Coast.
Nice and relaxed.
Once again, tomorrow, inside the ring, you'll get quest for the
Yeah, they're telling Paul Briggs in his corner, you must stay nice and relaxed. Don't get carried away. Do what you've been doing for the last 9 rounds, and the victory is in the bag. Don't get caught with anything silly. We have Briggs setting up nice double jab. Castro had a look, and Briggs, he popped in with a beautiful right hand.
Paul Upham, how have you got the fight at this stage?
1 round to go, Granley. I've got it all Paul Briggs. It's 8 rounds to 1 at the moment, and Castro, the only way he's going to win this fight is by knocking Paul Briggs out. And the way it's going at the moment, I just don't see that happening.
And look, I'd say Castro and his cornermen know that he really does need to win this fight by knockout. He cannot win it on points. Will he come out and go for the knockout? Or will he try and preserve his record of not being knocked out himself?
Paul's just got to keep it nice and tight this round. Nothing silly.
All right, Castro, I don't think he's going to go out there under the feet. He's going to go out there swinging.
Oh, this 10th and final round. Paul Briggs got the rev up from Rod Waterhouse in the corner, not to do anything stupid, not to make any careless mistakes. Just stick to what he's doing. Hands up, box, box, box. Dominate with the jab, pop the right hand when he can, and just not allow Jorge Castro to get a good shot at his chin.
Beautiful 1-2 from Paul Briggs. Sharp, quick punches.
Round. So Paul Briggs has come out here and he's just dominated Castro right from the second round on. He's more or less pushed the shutout from the second round on and really stuck it to Jorge Castro behind that jab and that powerful straight right.
Yeah, Castro's fought some 135 fights, but he has never fought anyone with the power and the speed of Paul Briggs.
Tremendous ring craft there from Paul Briggs, not allowing Castro to get any shot at him whatsoever, just behind the left hand, doing everything behind the jab.
and just keeping this guy off balance, not allowing to get a good shot at him. Paul Briggs just hasn't looked good so far. He's looked super impressive. Stop! Come on, please. Just a time out as the tape comes loose on the glove there. Castro would be very, very glad to see the little spill there. He knows he's lost this fight, and it's a little bit of a breather for him that he didn't think he was going to get.
A class performance from Paul Briggs. He's really stepped it up today. As he promised, he said, you bring me great opponents and I'll give you great fights. And he's really taken the fight to Jorge Castro, and he doesn't really have any answers to this race.
I thought Paul Briggs could win this fight, but I just didn't think he could do it so impressively. He just dominated this guy right from, as we say, from the second round. The first round was close. Second round, Paul Briggs got into his pattern, and he's just dominated. He's just got to be careful now for about 75 more seconds, and he's on his way to the world light heavyweight title. Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there. He really has dominated this fight, Brownlee. Nice quick hands. He doesn't want to get caught. Oh, he's shaking up Castro there again. Castro didn't like that. He punched him in the nose, and Castro didn't like that. Very, very few fighters have ever punched him in the nose as cleanly as that. He's used to making a miss. Well, Castro was certainly stunned by those shots, and he didn't like it. Watch the head.
Paul Briggs is really showing his skills inside the ring. He is a complete fighter.
Oh, beautiful right hand once again from Paul Briggs. Paul Briggs finishing off in style. It's been a classic performance of boxing skill, lateral movement, foot and hand speed from Paul Briggs. Very commanding performance, less than half a minute to go now. He's got 25 seconds to survive this last round, and break. A monumental victory for Paul Briggs. I'm sure that it's one that he's going to look back on in his career to say that was the defining moment. This is the one that got me to where I wanted to be. Again, there'll be no knockout here. Castro's doing his best, spinning right around, but he knows he's been beaten by a much better man this afternoon here at Carrara Stadium. Paul Briggs, what a performance from him. On his way now to the WBC light heavyweight title fight with a comprehensive victory, we're sure, over Jorge Castro, the former middleweight champion of the world. Paul Upham, how did you score the fight?
We've got 9 rounds to 1, 99-91 on our official scorecard down here, and a tremendous performance from Paul Briggs. He really showed how good he is here today.
He certainly did. There he is, a very, very delighted winner. We haven't got the official scorecards yet, Troy Waters, but I don't think there can be any doubt that this guy has put on a masterclass of boxing and is well on his way to the world title. Well, look, he's shown me everything today. He has shown me everything that it's going to take for Paul Briggs to win a world title. He's shown me class, he's shown me speed, he's shown me power, he's got the fitness there, he's got all the ring craft. He only needs his opportunity, and I do believe that Paul Briggs will be a world champion. And when you analyse the records, this really has to be one of the best performances by an Australian boxer in a long, long time. Jorge Castro, the former world champ, has come out here with a phenomenal record of 123 wins, just 8 losses. And this guy, Paul Briggs, has just battered him virtually in every round.
It's important, Brownlee, we don't dilute how good a fighter Jorge Castro was. He just wasn't allowed to do the things that he normally does by Paul Briggs, who really showed what a great up-and-coming, now rising star he is, and he definitely deserves a shot at the WBC light heavyweight title.
Well, if he fights Clinton Woods, Paul Briggs, you've got to make Paul Briggs an overwhelming favourite, don't you? Clinton Woods, we saw him get battered by Roy Jones Jr. I guess Paul Briggs would have to start a very heavy favourite to win the world title. I would think so. I mean, we just need to get Clinton Woods in the ring. Whether his people are going to be too happy to get their men in the ring with this bloke, I don't think so. But I'm sure it will happen. We have a look at some of the action here in the final round. There's the big jab of Paul Briggs. What a great punch that was for him throughout the fight. The jab and the right hand, they won it for him. Castro going for the big winging uppercut, but there's those evasive skills still in the last round after taking a battering. Still very sharp, very evasive and dangerous. But Briggs, the hand speed, the foot movement, just commanding, and even in close there, battering him in close and holding. Yeah, Paul Briggs doing everything. Showing us speed, showing us power, showing us foot movement.
I really like the composure today of Paul Briggs. I thought he was very professional the way he approached the fight, the way he fought today. He didn't get carried away, didn't get overexcited, just measured his punches, and I just think it just shows that the measure of experience that Paul Briggs brings, not necessarily in boxing fights, but he's had a lot of kickboxing bouts, and he was really on song for today.
I think it's the maturity that he's bringing to the ring. As you say, Paul, he's been in there a lot of the time through kickboxing. Now he's boxing, and that maturity is showing. It certainly is showing. Well, he kept the lid on the emotions throughout, and that really held him in good stead, because he never, ever got carried away, and he just did the job that was assigned to him. And Phil Player's up in the ring now with the official result.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this world title elimination bout, Quest of the Hurricane, Judge Adrian Cairn scored it 99-91. Judge Chris Daly scored it 100-91. Judge Anika Williams scored it 99-91. To the blue corner, Paul Hurricane Briggs. This is the quest of the Hurricane. Next stands the WBC World Light Heavyweight Championship title.
Winning virtually every round on one judge's card. 9 of the 10 rounds on the other 2 cards, and that's the way you saw it, Paul Upham. Tremendous performance by Paul Briggs.
Definitely was a commanding performance. 9 rounds to 1, I thought, Paul Briggs. And not only did he win those 9 rounds easily, he really dominated Jorge Castro.
And are we looking at the next WBC light heavyweight champion of the world? Jeff Harding held that title with great honour in the late 1980s. I think we're seeing the next world champion right here. Let's go to Phil Player, who's with a very, very happy Paul Briggs in centre ring.
Paul Hurricane Briggs. There's no doubt now a Hurricane, a legend in the making.
You know, I didn't come here tonight to impress anyone or set any records. The idea was just to win. I really wanted to get 10 rounds under my belt. I've been knocking everyone out. I just proved tonight I can do 10 rounds easy. I beat Jorge Castro. This guy's an absolute legend. I was just too fast, too quick. I think he seriously underestimated him and underestimated me, but that's his problem. My next fight is against Clinton Woods for the world title. Yeah! After I knock out Clinton Woods, I'll be the first man on the planet. I'll create history being the first man on the planet to be a kickboxing world champion and boxing world champion. I'll bring him back to Australia and I will dominate the division.
Paul, a baby on the way. Natasha's pregnant again, your second baby. I know she's pleased. Rod Waterhouse, sick last night, but he's here today beside you. Rod, come on as a promoter and as your trainer manager. He's always shy for a few words, but come on, you can't be shy today. Your boy is now heading for the top of the hill.
Yeah, I think Paul did very well against a great opponent. Or Jay, people really know how good this guy is. I think they're going to realise how good a fight this really was for Paul. Yeah, it looks like Clinton Woods. And listen, finally, I'd just like to thank the people that have supported us from day one, and there's a hell of a lot of them. And to get to where we are, we're going to need, their support still some more. But for Briggsy, I know, and myself, I appreciate everyone who's come along, everyone who's supported us, and thanks very much.
Paul Hurricane Briggs, a few more words from you. You are a world champion. You are a world champion. The belt will be on your belt, around your waist very soon. I know you're going to sign some autographs out the front, but a few last words, please.
I'd just like to thank the whole of Gold Coast. The support here has just been absolutely awesome. Thank you very much. This is a journey that we're doing together. It's not just me in here. This is the whole Gold Coast doing this. So I want to thank you all. I'm going to be out at the merchandising stand signing autographs if anyone's keen in about 10 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the quest of the Hurricane. This is Carrara, Gold Coast. I'm Philip Blair in coincidence with Paul Gale.
Well, there you have it. Magnificent performance there by Paul Briggs. In our minds, the next world light heavyweight champion.
But I don't think an Australian has dominated a world-class fighter with that much ease that I can remember. If you guys can remember, please let me know.
It's just been a tremendous day of boxing all the way through. I've been associated with this sport like you, Troy, for well on 20 years, and it's just been a great card all the way through.